All right, presentation of ancient Rome by myself, Ethan, Dalyn,
Kaleb.
We decided to cover the topic of ancient Rome, and we're going to start off with our documentary.
So I don't have the documentary quite finished yet. It's still a work in progress, but I did make a teaser for all of you just to see what the progress has been made and just the basic idea. It's about the burning of Rome and how Nero was accused for it. And so yeah, here's the trailer. And how little will be loading up. Okay, yeah, we'll come back to it. But it's really cool. Oops. It's really cool though. So, yeah. We'll show you that later when it's loaded.
All right, so our first topic is economy. The Romans were trailblazers in their economy because they created basically an entire new government system that the world had not yet seen before. They used a market economy because it was more of a market-based economy than it was anything else. There were hundreds of thousands of people that were devoted to shops, farming, agriculture. I just said that twice, but they were cutting down trees, agriculture, shopkeepers. If you didn't have any money, you still could trade for things that you didn't want or did or didn't want. You could trade away things you don't want, things you do want, you can get back. But they still use coins, but no paper monies, any type. And coins they used were gold and silver at the first start, but after that, they really didn't use them anymore because gold fell off. It got more valuable. But as they found gold got less valuable, they found copper and iron. They started using copper, iron, and silver. And then gold slowly came back.
All right, so here we have writing, and Rome used letters that were big and small, and they have a certain shape and size they want them to be, and the letters were called rooster capitals. The letters that they have as of today were carved into monuments in the city of Rome, and here's just a little sketch to show you what their writing is all about.
Okay, I did climate. Ancient Rome had many different climates. In the south, they had a Mediterranean climate where it was rainy in the winter and pretty hot in the summer. In the little bit north, there would be a marine west coast where it would rain a lot more, like most year. And sometimes it might snow in winter. And right above Italy, there was Alps. It was really cool there. And all I have here was Italy's climate, and shows that Italy has a Mediterranean climate, and it rains way more in the winter than it does in the summer, and temperatures rarely fall below 32 degrees.
All right, education. Education was not a government-founded thing. The rich people of the city that wanted to have their kids get an education founded it themselves. So when they founded it, they wanted their kids to use it, but their kids slowly brought it out to the public and saying, hey, the wealthy can come and get an education here with us. Poor kids were taught with anything they learned on the street and anybody that went to education before them. Since they could not afford it, they basically learned education from pretty much anybody that was willing to teach them.
Okay, so my topic was religion, and I found religion very, very prominent, and it was very interesting in Rome. A lot of the Roman gods were actually copied, or their traits were copied to Roman mythology. Many of the gods had the same traits that the gods in Greece had. Like Jupiter would be the king of all gods, kind of like Zeus, and Apollo is actually a direct copy from Apollo from Greece. And Mars, the god of war, is a lot like Ares, the god of war, in Greece, and there's just a lot of similarities between them, and I found that to be very interesting. And right here is a carving, a sculpture of a few of the different gods in Greece, or in Rome, and yeah, so I found Roman mythology very interesting because it was, the Romans liked Greece very much, so that's why they copied a lot of their art and a lot of their religion.
All right, so here we have culture, and the Roman Empire was polytheistic, and they believed, which means they believed in many gods. They believed in many gods for a number of reasons. Like, for example, the Apollos, they have God. They were known for like God of the sun and believed in other gods, just as Apollos did. And to Romans, religion was more than a spiritual experience. It was like a relationship between them and God. And Romans took Greek gods, ideas, and goddesses, but they changed the name of gods and the origins to the Roman civilization. And here's some pictures to show you their civilization.
So I did geography, and ancient Rome had many different forms of geography. Most of Rome was part of the European peninsula, and then in the capital of Rome, which is in Italy back in the time, it was part of a boot-shaped peninsula in the southern part of Europe. And on the northern part of Italy, there was the Alps. There's a whole bunch of mountains there. And most of Rome bordered the Mediterranean Sea. And I got it.
All right. I found their government to be the best topic because it's really interesting. The laws that they followed were called the 12 Tables. Now, they were set up to be more realistic toward people in government. It made the people feel like they had some power, and the government had some power. Well, it wasn't exactly 50-50, it was more 80-20. The government wanted to see the way that the people thought that they had some power. They controlled their own market, so on and so on. But the government pretty much controlled everything the citizens did. Does anybody know about the story of Julius Caesar?
Yeah, I do.
What's a little bit of it?
I don't know.
No?
Is it that dude with the wings that flew up in the sun? And
No. Julius Caesar was the first dictator of the Roman Empire. He was a statesman, military general, political leader, political advisor. Pretty much anything you could think of, he had already done it. And what the cool thing was he brought Rome from being this tiny little civilization to the part where they're like a top competitor. Like, hey, we're here, don't mess with us. And after about a year and a half, his fellow advisors saw him becoming a rising king. Now, because Rome was a republic, they didn't want that. So they all ganged up on him with knives. They ganged my boy, and he's dead. So he dies, Rome breaks into chaos. They try to reestablish the republic, but they can't do it because the citizens are furious that they killed one of their best leaders. And another memorable moment was Nero, like Kaleb was talking about. Nero was another emperor of Rome, and he didn't like the growing Christian religion. He didn't like it at all. So one of the things he did was, well, it's a real big conspiracy theory about it, but he sent men around to burn down the city of Rome and blame it on the upgrowing Christian religion. Because he wanted to keep their polytheistic beliefs about Apollo, Jupiter, Mars. He thought, no, we're not going to believe in Jesus and God. We're going to burn down this city. Other people believe it was an accident. Some believe that he did it. It's all up to what you think. summary, Rome was a very diverse civilization, very powerful, very strategic in military. They were a very big powerhouse. And their religion and culture was basically based off Greek, but the thing they did was they copied pieces of it, but then turned around and changed it to be their own, being gods, clothes, civilization, almost anything they wanted. And they had a decent education system, but there were still people that were illiterate and couldn't read or write, but they could all speak. They also had a very socially advanced government until chaos broke out and everything just went downhill. Let's go back to the video.
Okay, so before we end the presentation, we have one more thing to show. We're going to check back up on the documentary to see if it's loaded. And I've prepared a teaser trailer. There it is. Oh, whoops.
Just go to YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, go to YouTube.
Just go to YouTube. Okay,
What's unlisted? I need to. Just one moment, please.
This dude's been working on this thing for a while, guys. It's really cool.